Hey, welcome back to Livin MN Outdoors. I'm Daniel, and thanks for tuning in to this week's fishing report. We just got in some nice new shirts here. These are long sleeve performance fishing shirts. Says Get Livin' down the sleeve. Got our logo on the front here. If you guys would like to order one of these shirts, send us an email. Hit us up on Facebook or Instagram, and we will let you know how you can place an order for one of these shirts. If you order now, before June 10th, there is going to be free shipping. The cost of the shirt is $30, but with free shipping. So let us know if you want one of those shirts, and we'll get one sent out to you right away. All right, guys, this weekend is the Minnesota fishing opener. Walleye, pike, bass, that all opens up this week, and we hope that you're going to be able to get out and chase some fish this coming weekend. Now, if you use any of the guides or resorts mentioned in the fishing report, please let them know that you saw them on Livin MN Outdoors. Also, guys, if you get out fishing, you catch a bunch of fish, and you would like your pictures to be featured in next week's fishing report, go ahead, send those pictures over to us at our email at livinmnoutdoors@gmail.com. We look forward to seeing those pictures, and hopefully you'll see yourself in next week's fishing report. But with that being said, let's dive in to this week's report. All right, starting out on Mille Lacs Lake, the ice only went off about 5 to 7 days ago. The water temps are going to be extremely cold up there, so to predict where the walleyes are, it's gonna be a little bit tricky. Now, I talked to Jeff from Castles Resort. He told me that if it was him, he would be looking in that 8 to 16 foot range. He said sand to gravel transitions, or find some of those shallower reefs and fish off the edge of them, and just keep moving until you find some fish. Now, the techniques that we plan to use for this coming weekend, we're going to be pulling minnows on spinners. We're going to be slip bobber fishing. We're going to be casting a jig and a minnow. We might even pull some crankbaits. We're going to be prepared to throw the entire kitchen sink at them until we can get the bite dialed in and get on top of those fish. Now, I recommend you guys bring an assortment of bait. The water might be a little bit cold for leeches yet, but minnows, maybe some night crawlers, some crankbaits, have it all ready, and be willing to switch it up if you're having a hard time catching those fish. Now, if you guys are looking to target smallmouth bass this coming weekend, with the cold water temps are probably going to be a little bit more on the deeper side. Some of the males might be pulled up in that shallower 3 to 8 feet of water, but the big females more than likely are going to still be out in that 10 to 18 feet of water. Now, the best areas to target those, probably off the edge of the reefs, possibly even the north side of the reef where it's warmed up a little more. Best techniques for catching those, hair jigs. White or black hair jigs is a good option. You're gonna catch walleyes along with those smallmouth on hair jigs, but that's a good way to start. Now, one other technique that I was told that would probably work pretty good is a deep diving jerk bait. Go ahead, crank that jerk bait down deep, and then just slowly twitch it back to the boat, and you'll probably have some success on that as well. Now, if you guys are looking for a place to stay this weekend, Castles Resort, they still have a couple cabins available. Great cabins, comfortable, clean. We stayed in them this winter and absolutely loved it. They will have live bait there at the resort. And if you don't want to bring your own boat up to Mille Lacs Lake, Castles Resort will be running their launch Saturday and Sunday, 8 a.m. to noon and 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. You do need to call and make a reservation if you would like to do that. The cost of the launch is $40, but they provide all of the rod, reels, tackle, and bait. They do have a restroom on board, so that won't be an issue. So hopefully that works out for you guys. We will be fishing the 5 to 9 p.m. launch on Saturday, so maybe we'll see you up there. So if you guys are looking for a place to stay this weekend on Mille Lacs Lake, we highly recommend Castles Resort out of Isle Bay. All right, now moving up to Lake Winnie. I talked to Scott from zupsguideservice. His prediction for this coming weekend is target the shallows. He said anywhere from 5 foot to 10 foot of water on the sand flats. Now, the best way to target him, he said a blue and white jig tipped with a shiner or a fathead, and he did say that to work that jig slow. Now, the sizes he recommended were anywhere from a 1/16 to a 3/8 ounce jig. He said try and use the smallest jig possible and you'll have more success that way. Now, if you guys are looking to book a guide trip for up on Lake Winnie, Zups is full this coming weekend, but he does have some availability coming up. He is also going to be running some twilight trips this year. Those will run from 5:30 p.m. until dark. So if you want to get in on some of that prime time walleye bite action, look into booking a twilight trip with Scott from zupsguideservice. All right, now moving over to the Pines Resort, I talked to Chad. They don't have any cabins available for this coming weekend, but their bar and restaurant will be open. So whether you're staying with them or you're fishing somewhere else on the lake, make sure you swing in there, get something to eat, get something to drink, and have yourself a blast up on Lake Winnie this coming weekend. They do have a cabin open from May 14th to the 21st. So if you want to get up there and do some fishing on Lake Winnie, go ahead, give Chad a call and book that cabin as soon as possible. Now, the Pines Resort, they can help you book a guide trip as well. So if you're looking for a guide trip up on Lake Winnie, go ahead, give Chad a call. He'll assist with getting you booked up with a guide. And, you know, it's not a bad idea if you're going to be up there for several days. For that first 2 days, book a guide. Let them show you the ropes, and it will set you up for success the rest of your trip. So if you're looking for a place to stay up on Lake Winnie, go ahead and give Chad a call from the Pines Resort. All right, now moving over to Leech Lake, I talked to Austin from Leech Lake Guide Team. He said that the guide team up there, they will be targeting the shallow water areas. He said 3 to 8 feet of water. Post-spawn areas is where they're going to start looking for those walleyes. He said the water temp is extremely cold up there still. He recommends using a 1/16 to an 1/8 ounce jig tipped with a minnow. Now, he said those early morning bites, they'll be good, but he predicts that that 11 to 4 p.m. bite is going to be even better due to the water temps rising during the day. Don't think you have to rush over to the lake. Get there right at sunrise, because Austin predicts that the bite will be good all day long. Now, some types of structure to target. Those sand to gravel areas are going to be good. Those shallow weed lines, there's not going to be a lot of weeds yet, but if you can find some, those will be good. And wind-blown shorelines will hold the most bait. So if you can find some bait, more than likely those walleyes will be right behind them. Now, if you're looking to book a guide trip up on Leech Lake, Austin told me that they do have a few openings for this weekend yet, but they have a ton of openings through the rest of May. So if you want to book a guide, go ahead, contact the Leech Lake Guide Team and get that trip booked as soon as you can. Now, moving over to Horseshoe Bay Lodge, I talked to Cam today. He told me that they still have hotels and cabins available for this coming weekend. So it's not too late to book a trip for the fishing opener, but you better get on that quick. Now, Horseshoe Bay Lodge, they do have a full bar and restaurant. They have hot tub and pool in their hotel there. They can accommodate just about everything, live bait, fish cleaning service, and even if you're not staying at the resort, you can pull into their marina, dock your boat, and go in and enjoy some amazing food and drinks. So if you're looking for a place to stay up on Leech Lake, go ahead and call Cam or Courtney from Horseshoe Bay Lodge. All right, guys, well, that's going to do it for this week's fishing report. Just a couple of things before we sign off here. Please remember your life jackets. The water is extremely cold right now. There's nothing wrong with wearing a life jacket, especially when you're moving from spot to spot. At the boat ramp, there is going to be some inexperienced people there. Please be kind to them, be patient. If they're taking too long, go offer them some help, maybe back their boat in for them. But whatever you do, don't deter somebody from coming back and fishing again. We're trying to grow the sport, and everybody had to learn at some point in their life. Fishing etiquette: don't crowd the boat next to you. Don't harass your neighbor out on the lake. But most importantly, guys, don't forget to get on out there and get living.